Season 1 just dropped, so here are the best Warzone settings to instantly play better. Make sure you stay till the end because there's some new stuff you're going to want to know about. So we're going to start off with the controller tab. And obviously, if you play mouse and keyboard, some of these settings might still apply to you. But let's go. I play on tactical flipped. I play on 1.65, 1.65 sensitivity. Now, I really do recommend somewhere between 1.6 to 1.7. This is the sensitivity that most pro players play on. And it's because you have more consistent aim. You have better centering, therefore you're going to hit more shots. So you don't want to play on too fast nor too low because then you won't be able to trace people. So I like a good medium of 1.65. I have this on off. I do play on flip, so I make sure to have this setting on. Controller vibration off because it doesn't really help you. Now for your dead zone inputs. Left stick, I would say minimum 0 to 1. You want this at the bare minimum. Left stick max, somewhere between 60s to 70. I have a good medium, again, of 65. This is going to allow your stick to be more reactive and quicker, especially when it comes to Warzone. You're utilizing a lot of movement. Right stick minimum, 3 to 5 is the recommended. If you have to put it on too high, you probably need a new controller. Having your right stick minimum too high is going to affect your aim and it's going to make you miss shots and not be as good as you can be. So I definitely would say try to be at 5, 6 at the highest, but you can experiment with a little bit lower. I prefer 3. For the right stick max, 99, don't touch this one. This one can actually hurt your aim if you move it around. And for your left trigger and right trigger, make sure it's on 0. Now for the aiming tab. For sensitivity multiplier, I have my ADS sensitivity multiplier on 1.0. I don't touch it. If you do play on a higher sense, you could lower this down a little bit, but I wouldn't touch it too much. Keep that in mind. Aiming advanced settings, I do have my ADS sensitivity transition timing on instant. Now, by default, it's on gradual. The thing about gradual, when it comes to movement in this game, when they hit you with the Omni movement, it's harder to trace them. So instant is highly recommended. It's what most of the pros use. For your aim response curve type, make sure it's on dynamic. It's just a go-to. It's been the go-to for years. Don't trust this bullshit with standard and linear. Just use dynamic. Make sure this is on 1.0. You could experiment running this a little bit lower, but don't do it too low because it might hurt your aim as well. Of course, make sure target aim assist is on. Then we're going to go to movement. Sprint assist, tactical sprint assist. You're going to want this on Warzone 100%. This is going to make your movement more fluid, faster, and easier. Who doesn't want that? Make sure sprint assist delay is on 0 and sideways and backwards sprint assist is on. Manual assist off. You don't want to manual assist random things. Crouch assist off. Corner slice off. This doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. Wall jump assist off. I mean, this is for Black Ops 7, but you want to have that off. Slide dive behavior, have this on hybrid. It's going to make your slides faster and your dives quicker. And this is the best movement setting for Warzone, right? You need to use hybrid. If you don't like it, try to get used to it. Automatic airborne mantle off. You want to make sure these two settings are on. It's going to help again with your movement. Parachute automatic behavior. Make sure this is on off. You don't want your parachute opening randomly when you're coming in. You want to be able to control it all the way to the fullest. You might splat a couple times though. Wingsuit activation manual, wall jump activation press, and then slide combat roll behavior. Make sure this is on tap to slide. For your movement advanced settings, you kind of want to leave this all the same. You could turn off ground and mantle off if you feel like you're mantling too many things. And make sure your plunging underwater is on free. This is going to allow you to freely move through the water. It's going to be a little bit easier to control. And trust me, you're going to be swimming. Next, for combat, you can copy all these settings. I'll say the most important one is armor plate behavior. Make sure it's on apply all. And this is pretty much basic stuff here. Now let's go to the graphics, one of the most important settings in the game. Display mode, I have it on full screen exclusive. Obviously, make sure your screen refresh rate is on the right number, and obviously make sure it's on the right display adapter, and make sure your display resolution is correct. Sometimes these things aren't right, and there could be various reasons for that. So you want to make sure that's always correct. My brightness, I do have it a little bit higher than default. Default is 50. I'm usually between like 53 to 55 because it helps see like the darker areas. And then NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency, always have this on. Or you could do on plus boost, just never have it off. If you have it off, you're going to be hurting yourself. Then I have this on efficiency. Make sure your VSync is off 100%. Your frames, make sure it's on unlimited. And these are pretty basic mode here. Focus mode 0, HDR automatic. And let's go to quality. Now for the quality tab. Again, make sure your render resolution is on 100 and make sure it's the right number. If it doesn't say the right number, something might be off or you have to put it back all the way up to 100 because it resets sometimes. I do use Fidelity Cast. I'm a big fan of it. I know some people have been using NVIDIA DLSS, but I feel like Fidelity Cast is fine. I still get a lot of frames. I have it on 95. Off. We're going to go through this really quickly for performance and a little bit of quality. VSCAN, relative scale target, 70. This is on. Text resolution, normal. Low, off, low, very low. Bulleted impacts. I turned this on for a video, but you should have that off. off, low, optimize, low, low, very low, off, off, off with the head, low, very low, low, off, 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 and off. So these settings should give you better performance while still maintaining decent quality. Now let's go to view. You're going to put apply. FOV, you're going to be on 120. Warzone 120 usually. The lowest I could recommend is like 115, but 120 is the go-to. Why? You see more on your screen, which is nice. And 2, you get less visual recoil. And to help with getting less visual recoil, you're going to want to make sure your ADS field of view is unaffected. Weapon field of view wide. It makes your gun look smaller. It's personal preference. You can do that. Put whatever one you want. And then from down here, you're going to want to make sure the blurs are off. It just makes your game look worse, and it doesn't help you at all. Then you're going to want to make sure your first-person camera movement is at least at 50%. This is going to help you, again, with visual recoil and all that craziness on your screen. That doesn't help you. Inverted flashbang, I do like to have the setting on. You know, makes your flashes, instead of white, just black. It does make you feel like your monitor's turning off, though. But we're not done yet. We still got to talk about audio and interface. So let's go to interface first. Telemetry, and that's not how you pronounce it at all, but it's okay. You're going to want to make sure, if you want these things on, your FPS counter, serve latency, packet loss, so you can see, like, you know, what's your ping, what's your frames looking at. You can turn these couple off. I like to have these 4 on and the rest off. So that's number 1. 2, you're going to want to go to readability, and you're going to want to go to color customization. Now, this is going to make your colors pop more and look better. Go to color filter, put filter 2, put both, and make sure these both at 100. Your colors are going to look so much better, and you're going to thank me for it. You're welcome. Too early, probably. Make sure to drop a like. And then we're going to go to gameplay HUD. Now, there's something really important. First of all, your HUD bounds, you're going to want this all the way in. You don't want it out. You want it in. Your minimap is one of the most important tools in the whole game, and you want that minimap being closer to the center of your screen. That way you can see it quick. When you're in action, you can see it quick. Like, okay, there's a guy next to me, guy pushing me. Versus you have to like overextend and like also get off the center of your screen. So you're going to want to make sure your minimap is all the way in. Next, I'm big on static crosshair lines. So I have this on static so it doesn't move. And I have this on crosshair line spread on. Crosshair dot on static as well. And I have a larger dot. It's basically in the middle. I don't like the default. It looks a little too small. The largest looks a little bit blurry and too big. So I have it on larger. Then you want to go down here. You can make sure you copy these settings, but these are all pretty basic. And then, of course, let's talk about the audio really quickly. Master game volume on 100, gameplay music and cinematic music. You don't need music. Doesn't help you. So have them at 0. And then make sure your dialogue volume could be somewhere between 80 to 100. I have it on 100. And effects volume, of course, this is the most important. Make sure this is on 100 as well. I do use R-Tune, which basically helps me with my audio, so it makes it better. And you're going to want to make sure reduced titty sound is on. This is going to help with the loud explosions and all that craziness. And of course, I have this off and Treyarch mix. I was using headphone bass cut for a little bit, which sounded better, but it does make certain sounds too loud in my ear, so I didn't like it. So I'm currently using Treyarch Mix. If you feel like you need louder sound, I do recommend Sucker Punch. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope this helped you. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.